Hello, it's Dave Dunn here at FastCredit Pro. So in this video we're going to be explaining the WooCommerce guest checkout settings and why you need to follow this guideline here for setting it up on your FastCredit Pro site. Usually the default WooCommerce sets it to is allow customers to place an order without an account. Now there may be some scenarios where this is usable, but in our case we need users to have an account to have the credits added to that account. And I'm going to explain that in this video, but if you want to just skip all that and just set this as I show here, disable that and then make sure account creation is enabled, and if you save those changes you're pretty much good to go, right? However, I'm going to explain why this is important. So if we leave that off, this is sometimes the default setting is guest checkout with WooCommerce, and let's just save that now as a default. And what this is going to do, it's going to allow your customers to check out as a guest, except that they're not getting a user account created in WordPress. This may be useful in some instances, but in our case, we need an account for the credits to be applied to so that the user has a running credit balance. So we actually need a user account in WordPress. So this is the reason why we need to have it enabled. But I'll show you what happens if we don't enable it, just so you've got a reference in case you try to debug something on your site and you're wondering why the users aren't being created or they're not getting credits applied properly. So if we simply have guest checkout enabled and we let's create a new private window and we visit the shop. So this is a user visiting our shop. This is our demo site, by the way. But they're going to buy some credits, right? They can't buy anything until they purchase credits. So they add those credits to cart, they go to checkout, and you can see the checkout appears, right? If we say user Dave guest, and I'll just fill this out quickly. Okay, so we've got our details in, we're going to put in our test card number. Oopsie. Okay, and we'll just place that order. So the product that I'm purchasing should add 100 credits to this user account. However, because we're checking out as a guest, we're not actually going to get any credits applied because we're not being logged in and we're not having a user account created. So if we go to my account, you can see we're still being asked to log in and the credit balance here is 0. Now if we went inside WordPress and we looked at our orders, you can see the Dave Guest account is there, or the order for Dave Guest is there, but the status is basically, well, the customer is essentially a guest, so there isn't a customer created. You've got an email address associated with the order, but there's no actual user account in WordPress. So it's important that we actually make sure the user account is created at the point of the checkout. Which is why we want a disabled guest checkout. However, we also want to make sure account creation is enabled, because I'll show you what happens if we only disable guest checkout, right? And I save that as that. And then we come back to our site, and I'm just going to copy the shop URL, close private browsers, and just open a new private browser, right? So this is a completely fresh session. We're going to add this product to the cart, and now we're going to go to checkout. And now it's got this notice, you must be logged in to checkout. So basically, it's not allowing guest checkouts, it's only allowing checkouts for users that are logged in. But we're a new user, so we need to be able to access the checkout even though we're not logged in. So if we come back here and make sure allow customers to create an account during checkout is selected, this is going to make sure the checkout is visible, right? Just refresh this. Now the checkout's visible. And then if we check out again, Dave, and we'll call this user, right? And I'll just fill this out again. And we'll do the test purchase. and we'll place that order. So you can see now there's a difference. We've got a credit balance that's immediately available, and it's actually created a user account for us. So if we go to my account, the credit balance is showing here, and we're actually in WordPress as a user, and we can obviously verify that by going into the orders in WordPress, checking the Dave user order, and you can see the customer now has an email address associated with them. So there's an actual user account that's been created in WordPress. So that's a kind of long-winded explanation of why you need to disable guest checkout, but I thought it might be useful to kind of help you debug things that may rarely go wrong. But that's basically the overview of what you need to have set. So guest checkouts are disabled, and customers create an account during checkout. So if you're enjoying this video and you're enjoying the content that we're providing here on YouTube and the plugins that we're putting out, just give us a quick like, subscribe and share and all that stuff, because it's going to help us grow this channel. We're at a very early stage at this point, so I'm just making this little call out here. I'm going to stick it in all the videos that you're probably going to see, just to keep reminding you. And also, if you got a comment, leave a comment, and if you got requests for videos, let us know as well, so that we can kind of just keep on top of stuff and just bring you stuff that you want to know. Anyway, I look forward to connecting. Any questions, let me know, and chat soon.